The 53-year-old electrical engineer Arthur Soteros also became a victim of his diet. Excessive amounts of meat, fish, and dairy products. The consequences caught up with him.
My first health issues started about 20-some years ago. About 20 years ago when I was about 30, 32 years of age. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. About 10 years later, propagated into heart disease. My first encounter with heart disease was at age 42. What I exhibited was just heartburn, turned out to be a blockage. I went to the emergency room and found out it was a blockage, and then it required an intervention and stent. That was my first encounter.
A stent is an implant designed to hold a vessel open. Arthur Soteros needed to have 5 such stents implanted. He repeatedly suffered from chest pain and a narrowing of his blood vessels. Finally, he needed double coronary bypass surgery.
So I was sure that after doing the bypass surgery that I would be free and clear of any heart issues for at least upwards to about 10 years. That happened not to be the case with me. About a year into that, I developed angina again, and what turned out not then to be the vein graft that they used in my bypass surgery had now blocked, which then required another stent, and then a few months later another stent, till the frequency of those stents then became just 2 weeks apart.
The quickly returning vessel occlusions baffled the doctors. Soteros left the hospital without hope.
I wept and I cried like a baby because I wasn't ready to die. And I cried out to God for some options. I think God saved my life. I think it was God's mercy and grace that actually gave me options and set my path straight and pointed me in the direction of plant-based.
Through a member of his church community, Arthur Soteros learned about Dr. Esselstyn and his nutrition-based therapy. He consulted the doctor, and with his help, he restructured his entire diet.
Within about 30 to 40 days from that point, the angina that I was experiencing again and the facial numbness that I experienced during my heart disease, it was gone. And it was then by following this diet of going plant-based, within about 5 months from that point on, when I was doing a follow-up with my cardiologist and family physician who has been monitoring my diabetes, said that my diabetes was gone. And then I followed up at that same time in October of 2010 with my optometrist. The prescription glasses that I was wearing, they looked at them and said, why was I wearing these things? That all I needed was just reading glasses. So then with the reversal of my diabetes, my eyesight got better.
Arthur Soteros' heart condition has disappeared. His blood test results are normal, and he's been able to markedly reduce his medication. He also lost 20 kilograms of excess body weight.
I feel better now at age 53 than I did at age 30.
Through the years, I've had lots of students, a lot of colleagues, plenty of money to do all kinds of research. And I found out that what I believed early was wrong. That a diet that's high in animal-based foods is a problem. A diet that's high in processed foods is a problem. Many different ways. The only solution is a whole food plant-based diet. It's that clear. And when people use that, they not only prevent future disease, they actually are able to cure existing disease in people who have a disease.
Ich erhielt im Dezember 2006 die Diagnose Lungenkrebs im Endstadium. Metastasen hatten sich gebildet, die Lymphknoten waren befallen Der Tumor wurde entfernt, die Lymphknoten ebenfalls. Danach wurde mir eine Chemotherapie empfohlen, die habe ich abgelehnt. Stattdessen habe ich einen Arzt konsultiert, der die Heilung mit pflanzlichen Mitteln bevorzugt. Ich bin seinen Ratschlägen gefolgt und bin heute krebsfrei, weil ich auf den Konsum von tierischen Produkten verzichtet habe und dem Konsum von pflanzlichen Produkten den Vorzug gegeben habe, aber hier in erster Linie den unbehandelten, den naturbelassenen, den Pflanzen, Gemüsen, Obstsorten und anderen Lebensmitteln, welche nicht erhitzt werden und so ein Maximum an Nährstoffen an mich weitergeben konnten. Das ist der Grund, meiner Meinung nach, warum ich heute frei von Krebs bin.
My wife, Karen, was diagnosed with a serious kind of cancer, stage 3 melanoma. She refused to take the chemotherapy. She refused to have the surgery. Then she got really strict about her diet. Now it's about 9 years later. No problem.
Die pflanzlichen Lebensmittel sind deshalb vorteilhaft, weil sie bestimmte Substanzen enthalten, die wir in tierischen Lebensmitteln überhaupt nicht finden. Zum Beispiel Ballaststoffe oder auch sekundäre Pflanzenstoffe. Wie der Name schon sagt, werden diese Substanzen von den Pflanzen synthetisiert und man weiß heute, dass gerade die sekundären Pflanzenstoffe einen erheblichen günstigen Einfluss auf unsere Gesundheit haben.
Plant-based foods give us sufficient protein and healthy fats. They are rich in complex carbohydrates and antioxidants, as well as certain vitamins, trace elements, and enzymes. Plant-based foods contain what humans need for a healthy diet.
Das Problem ist generell, dass eben auch mit gesundheitsschädlichen Produkten wie Fleisch, Milch und Eiern eben sehr viel Geld verdient wird.